Good morning, everybody. I toast to you. I got all kinds of cups over here. I toast to you and all you do. And I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hoping that the noise picks up. The camera's kind of far from me today. So I tried to make this video the other day, and it was so funny. I got all the way to the end of it, and then my phone died, my camera crashed, and I couldn't. The video was good. I was so sad. But ironically, it worked out. Because the video I made the other day was with avocado oil, and after some more research, we're not going to use avocado oil. Wait, okay, so now I'm jumping the gun, because I made that video the other day. I was like, they already know this, but they don't. So I'm starting on a new venture. I'm taking my garden witch and my kitchen witchcraft to the next level. I've thought about doing this for a really long time, and I just never have made that step. I've always had so much else going on, and I was like, you know what, it's time. We're going to do this. We're not going to hold back anymore. And so I'm starting to make infused oils. Next, I'll start making tinctures. Right now, all of my plants are dry, so I'm kind of stuck with the oils, but that's okay because the oils are amazing. And I'm going to be making soaps and salves and balms and lotions and all of that stuff, doing lots of research right now, trying to get all of the information for the emulsifiers and additives and things that you need in order to make your product shelf stable and stuff. But I'm really learning that for the most part, it's amazing how natural we can keep our lotions and soaps and balms and all of that stuff, chapsticks, anything. And we don't have to use harsh chemicals, and we don't have to use things from the pharmaceutical companies. We can literally use the things that we have growing right here. You see right here, I have my indoor plants. In the wintertime, I have to bring stuff inside because I live in Colorado and it gets really cold here, so we have to bring the things inside. So you see I have my lemon verbena and my lemongrass. My lemongrass has been producing so much throughout the summer, so I'm getting a lot of grass. I have jars and jars and jars of lemongrass. They're amazing. They smell great. I'm not making that much tea with it. In fact, I'm not a big tea drinker. I love coffee. Speaking of, let's drink some coffee right now. So I just have this plethora of lemongrass. So I'm using it as my test. We're trying out some different oils and stuff to see which one is going to be the best for the products and making infusions and all of that stuff. And so we've got it narrowed down to grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil. Oh, there's one more and I totally forgot. That's okay. I'm not testing that other one. Today I'll be testing grapeseed oil and sunflower oil, which I was really surprised with the sunflower oil to find that. So I shop at King Soopers. I'm a big King Soopers fan. Kroger, whatever it's called near you, City Market. Their Kroger brand sunflower oil is no GMO, no preservatives, all natural, 100% just sunflower oil. I'm like standing there looking at all these sunflower oils, reading the labels. I'm like, dang, some of these are really expensive. What do I do? Looking at them, I just tried to test this. And then I read the King Soopers brand, and I was like, wow. So you don't always have to pay more for what you're getting. One of the ladies that I follow, all she does is makes oils and tinctures and stuff like that. She tries to get all of her stuff at the dollar store. She just frequents all of the dollar stores and waits for them to have the organic, GMO-free brand because they get them. They get all of them. It's not like a set thing at the dollar store. They just get what they get. So, anyways, all of that said, so we're going to be making infused oils today. I want to take a brief moment just to talk about the difference between an essential oil and an infused oil. So in an infused oil, we are using the plant and oil, and we're going to combine them and we're going to let them sit. And in an essential oil, what you're doing is you're taking the oils out of the plant. You're taking the volatile chemicals out of the plant, and you are condensing them into a very small amount. And so what that does is it makes a very potent, very strong oil. They are also very volatile because it is just the volatile oils that you're taking out of there. So that's why they have such a strong smell. Anything that has a really strong smell means that it evaporates really quickly, so you're smelling it. Which also means the stronger the smell like that, the stronger the evaporation rate, the quicker, the lower the flash point, the more it's going to combust. And also the more interactive it is with its environment. That's why a lot of times always use a carrier oil with your essential oil. You'll buy some sunflower oil or some grapeseed oil, and you'll add those essential oils back to your carrier oil. Not back to, but to your carrier oil to dilute them. So that way they're not hurting you. It can be dangerous to use essential oils on your skin. It can also cause allergic reactions if you take them internally, because it is just such a high dose of all of the phytochemicals and essential, like the things that make up the essential oil. Oh, my nose is tickling. Anyways, okay. So the essential oils, very, very potent. Now, our infused oils that we're making, we are naturally, through the act of diffusion. If you're not familiar with science, that's all things like to be equal in our cells, across the membranes of the plants. So when I put oil over the plant, all of the oil soluble properties of the plant are going to they're going to leach out of the plant, and they're going to go into the oil until everything is equal. And there's just as much phytochemicals outside the plant in the oil as there are inside the oil. This is going to happen through the act of diffusion. It's a passive process, so it doesn't take me doing anything. I just realized I will need a pair of scissors because of the lemongrass in this, so I have to cut it to fit in your jar, make it a little smaller. And we'll talk a little bit more about that briefly, but when you're making the infused oils, it's much more natural, it's much less harsh, and you don't need to add a carrier oil because you're already using the carrier oil. You're using the carrier oil to pull out and extract all of the good stuff out of the plants at a healthy level so that it's not going to cause skin irritation. It's not going to cause you to have an allergic reaction. It's not going to cause some bad thing to happen because you're just getting a little bit, and it's not toxic. It's not harsh on your body. So there's the difference between essential oils and infused oils. And I know you'll see some places where they're like, oh, infused oils have no power. I know when I first started doing a lot of research on it, that's what I kept coming to. Everybody's like, oh, you have to use the essential oils because infused oils have no energy, they have no power, they don't have the potency, this and that. So here's the way that I look at it, okay? When we're doing anything and with nature, with whatever, too much, you can have too much of a good thing. And when we start, it's just like when I dry my peppermint plant. When I dry it on the leaf. When I pull it off the leaf, I either use gloves or I only do small batches. Peppermint can be very harsh to your skin. Cloves are amazing. I love cooking with them. They have that delicious flavor. It's very unique, very strong. They're very, very acidic. And you wouldn't think that from this little nut-looking seed thing. However, add a tiny bit of water to it, and it starts to become like an acid. It will eat away at your skin and cause problems. Hold on. There was a small child. All better now. All right. I also grabbed some scissors while I was up. So let's talk about lemongrass. So lemongrass is a tropical grass. It typically grows in Indonesia and places like that. It is used in food. You see it a lot in Asian cuisine, Indian food, all of that stuff. It's delicious. It has a very, very strong lemony smell, lemony flavor. If you, excuse me, a lot of times when we're looking for a lemon flavor in our food, it's something like lemongrass or even lemon balm that they're using to add the lemon flavor, and not lemon, because it has that lemon flavor without the bitter acidity of lemon, so it's very good. It is used magically to, it's used in like conjure oil, it's used to protect, to bring good luck, to like bring good bounty. It's got that good energy to it. As a plant itself, it's a bug repellent. They don't like the smell. It has citronella in it. And if citronella, we think those candles, or we think the citronella gardenia plants. Citronella is a phytochemical that you actually find in lots of different plants. They all have that citronella smell. It's a very volatile chemical, so it's one that comes out very quickly in our plants, and it Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor and I'm old, so it hurts. Put my cushion better. Anyway, so let's see. Now, it's not just something that's used like in in alternative medicine. It is used by pharmaceutical companies. They do test it. They do a lot of research on it because it has so many great phytochemicals in it. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps to fight free radicals. It's good for your oral health, so you can make a mouthwash with it. It's also a diuretic, so if you drink a strong tea, it will help to cleanse. Doesn't help to cleanse your body, but it helps like flush out your body and tell your body to, hey, go pee, turn those kidneys on, get everything pushing through. As you see, I have mine inside right here, and we talked about this a little bit. It is native to zones 11, 10 and 11. Oh, no, 8. 8 and warmer. Sorry. I was confusing it with my aloe vera here, which is 10 and 11. But I'm in a zone 5, 4 right now. It's only 25 degrees outside. It's freezing. My poor plants would die. So they come inside for the wintertime. Even my lemon verbena, she's sad because she's inside and she wants to be outside, and I don't water her enough inside because I'm a slacker. But she's beautiful still. This whole area just smells like lemon. The kids like walk past it and they're like, oh, and then I smell like lemon. I'm not going to get any bugs in the house this year with it. It's crazy. They are very, very much anti-bugs. The bugs in my backyard, let's see, last year I had I always buy the gardenia citronellas to put around my patio. So I had several of those, plus several lemongrass, lemon balm, lemon verbena. I've got lemon thyme because I really like the way that it looks, and it's great in foods also, and it has citronella in it. Plus a couple other things that I have growing that are not like this, but are also bug repellents. They don't have citronella, it's just different reasons. But like the lavender and even some of my sage varieties. But I didn't have a lot of mosquitoes in the backyard. Grasshoppers, on the other hand. Anyways, so it's bug repellent. It makes a big, just the lemongrass and some witch hazel make an infusion in that way, and it makes a great bug repellent. Let's see. So it's antibiotic, antifungal, blah, blah, blah. I already said that. Topically, it helps to soothe the skin. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is anti-pitta. So pitta is fire, very energetic. And so the lemongrass helps to soothe that fire. So any conditions that are considered fire, fever, infection, all of those kind of things are going to be soothed by this, including topical. So rashes, eczema, psoriasis, those kind of things, that will really help to soothe those. And also can help to relax you, but at the same time uplift your spirit. So it helps to like soothe you. So it's all around like a soothing grass. To care for it, I would pull it down, but I'd probably pull the whole shelf down in the process. So my lemongrass, I bring it inside, like I said, in the winter. And right now, you can't really tell, but I have a picture on my Instagram that shows it. It is fairly dry, parts of it right now, because I want it to be so excited to go into the ground here soon that when I divide it out and replant it, it like bursts forth with happiness of, I'm outside, I'm not stuck in this little pot. So the way that it propagates is the little shoots. If you've ever eaten grass, the part of it that's edible is all the way down at the bottom, and it almost looks like a green onion. And so that's the part that you would pull out. But that's also, when I divide it, those will become new grass sets. So I'll take this, and it'll probably become 4 plants, and then it'll grow from there. And then in the wintertime, I'll dig up the healthiest one and bring it inside. Now, my sister in her garden, she doesn't want to bring in her plants. So she winterized her garden. She bought burlap sacks, and she bought all of the mulch and the different kinds of things. Some plants need this and that. So both of her plants like this and a lot of other ones. She's got some Mexican sage that makes these really pretty flowers. But anyways, she burlapped and covered everything to see if it makes it through. Now, it was 4 degrees a month ago. I don't know what's going to last. I don't even think like my hardy zone, things that are hardy to here normally, are going to survive. I'm concerned about like my, I had just planted creeping rosemary, and I don't think that it's going to survive. I don't think that it was strong enough in the roots, but surprisingly, like my clover is coming back so nice. It's going to be so happy, and it went to seed like crazy. But we'll talk about that at a later time. Right now, I just love my plants to talk about lemongrass. So I got my scissors. Now, to make our infused oil, it's really, really simple. It doesn't take a bunch of stuff. It takes, I got a clean jar. They're washed and sanitized. That way we're not introducing bacteria into the system. Okay. And then you have my lemongrass. Now it is totally dry. 100% dry. Actually, I'm going to pull some of this stuff out that's a little too dry. You can see it's starting to discolor. In fact, I'm going to save that. I don't want that in there. This other jar. This one is fresher. I just gathered this not long ago, so we're going to use this fresher one. Like I said, she's just been putting off so much grass while she's been inside that I like have to mow her. Okay, so lemongrass comes with a disclaimer. It is actually not a big fan of being touched. So it has like almost like spurs on it. It's not like a let me rub you grass. When it's fresh, it will give you paper cuts if you rub it just right. And when I was cleaning it day before yesterday, it gave me a splinter underneath the cuticle on the side of my finger right here. It hurt so bad. My husband had to help me. I couldn't get it out. It was miserable. It's still a little sore. So it's like not a very friendly grass. I'm not going to lie. So we're going to fill up our jar. Shake that down. It is starting to smell like lemons in here like crazy. So pull out some more. So when I put it in the jar, I actually put it in the jar fresh. I cut it, and then I put it in the jar kind of like what I'm doing now, except for I stick it all the way to the bottom and just hold it and cut along the top. So that's why you see like it like perfectly fits in this jar. And I guess if I cut it a little shorter, I wouldn't have to move it to a new jar. But the reason I do is because I don't want these ones that are all the way dried out, that don't have any color left in them. We want green ones. And you can light work with me here. Let's see. Here we go. Here's my book. So you can kind of see the green is real dark and this other one is not. And so these lighter ones, they just don't have as much of the healthy phytochemicals, and they have more dead plant matter. And we don't want the dead plant matter. We also don't want water. That's why they're dry. We don't want bacteria to be introduced into the system. We want to keep it clean. So water is not your friend. Water and oil will create an explosion. That's why you keep your salad dressing in the refrigerator. If you left your salad dressing on the counter, it would get yucky. Okay, so now the jar is full. Some people only fill theirs up a third of the way, or like 2/3 of the way, whatever. I'm going to fill it up all the way. We want to get as much out of it as we can. I'm going to use my grape oil. I've got Grapeola. It is non-GMO, organic, and when we start producing it in larger quantities, we are going to be making sure, we're just looking at where it came from. Oh yeah, it does come from California. See, I thought I read that. Oh, product of Spain. So we're going to try to get 100% American, but that's okay. This will work for our test product. It is organic, non-GMO, all of that great stuff. So it's real healthy. Grapeseed, the cool thing about grapeseed oil is it's a natural byproduct of other things that they do with grapes and whatnot. So it's not like destructive, and there's not a bunch of deforestation like when it comes to the reason we moved away from avocados is because in Mexico you have to be really cautious about what you buy from Mexico just like you have to be cautious about what you buy from a lot of countries because they don't have a good work standard of living, all of those things. Slavery is a really big problem. Like we talk about how, there's not equal rights, but that's not even like slavery is a real thing, especially when it comes to the farming and agricultural world. And so you have to be very mindful. I'm going to say this now just because we're talking about it, but the pink Himalayan salt, stop buying it, period. Don't get it anymore. And if you want to know why, find out where it comes from. Look up pink salt Himalayan farms and the truth about, or mines, and the truth about them. Same with the mica that comes in your makeup and makes all your stuff shiny. It's poor children who are gathering these things. Avocados, it's families that are pretty much indentured slaves to, the cartel and to all of these other things because they don't just make their money off of drugs. They make their money off of the fruits and the vegetables and the other things that these people can plant. And so whenever you're buying a product, you just need to be really aware of that. And especially when it comes to using it like on your, like just in general, just be aware. So that's why we moved away from the avocado oil. And, you can get it from California and to where it's all whatever this and that. But the problem is that it's not, avocados aren't designed to grow in California. They are not meant to be at that altitude. So they need to be down low and somewhere else. So we've got our oil. We've got our lemongrass. It's really hard. Ready? Cover lemongrass in oil. Now, even just pouring the oil over here and a little bit of cutting, like I said, this room is so lemony. It smells like citronella. So we'll cover that all the way. And put a lid on it. It's so funny. That was not the original jar I was going to use, but that's okay. Oh, that was like a magical moment. I'm going to have to watch the video to see what just happened. Maybe it was. All right, that works though because now my jars will be different. It'll help me remember. So here is our grapeseed and lemongrass. As you can see, it is pretty simple. Stuff needs to be pushed down. So even just letting it sit there for a minute and the air coming up to the top, I can see that there's not enough oil in here. Let's see. So you want to go up to where there's 1/4 of an inch. And honestly, I always use the second ring as my guideline. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the top because oil will expand. It'll grow and shrink and all of that stuff. And so it'll leak out the top of your bottle. So you want to be mindful of that. I'm just trying to get all of these stray little grasses down in there. Okay. Just rub that into the skin. Grapeseed oil is really good for you. Cover that just a little bit more. And put a lid on it. So I will label this. My labels are way over there now that I've got grapeseed oil all over me. The bottle is covered in grapeseed oil. So wipe this off. Put a label on it. I really like the labels that are from the Ball Jar Company because they really do dissolve in water. So it's great for things like this. And then I just wash the jar and the label comes right off. So now in our second jar, we are going to, that lid has a scratch on it. If I was using vinegar, I wouldn't be able to use that lid. It would definitely corrode. Okay, so again, we're going to cut this up. I'm at the bottom of some of them, so it's kind of thick. Maybe I can show you this one. So here is one of the thicker ones. Like this is one you would eat. You can see it's much thicker. It's like layered. It almost looks like I said, like a green onion. They are way harder to cut. So some people, when you watch them make their oils or tinctures or whatever, oh, I'm just sending this everywhere. They will do as much as putting their plant matter through a blender or through a whatever You don't have to be that mean to your plant. And we don't want a lot of plant matter in our final product. And the more damage we do to it now, like if I was to say, get out my my grinder, I'm not even going to try to say it, mortar and pestle, there we go. I was going to get out my mortar and pestle and grind this down to a pulp. I'm sure that I would get more stuff out of the plant matter, but I would also get a lot of plant matter, in which case runs the risk of introducing bacteria and mold and all of that stuff. A couple green ones that were in the middle, or brown ones that were in the middle there. And the nice thing about doing it in these smaller jars and batches and stuff is that I can more regulate and look like, oh, I had a couple pieces of grass that turned brown. There's another one. And I can get those pulled out as I go. So it's not like a huge batch. It's not overwhelming. And these are the little half pint jars. I could have even done it in here in my big jar. Oh, like here's an example of the labels. See, they're even cute little labels. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, see, they're even cute little labels. And then they really do just, once you put a little bit of hot water on them, it's poof, it's gone. It's like magic paper. Okay, put a little more in here. So, I think that's all that's going to fit. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Brown stuff there. All right. Well, before I put the oil in it this time, we're going to just do a little more chopping at the top so that all that grass is down in there. Okay. So on this one, excuse me, we're going to use the sunflower oil. Now, again, the sunflower oil is this one is from the United States, and it is non-GMO, all organic, all of that stuff, and it's a byproduct of making other things. So while they're processing the sunflowers and doing all of the things that they do, this is something that just comes off of the side, like extra. Kind of like the tars and the pine resins that you get. But this is an oil. So, same thing. We're just going to cover this in the sunflower oil. Oh, that bubbled a lot. There's a lot of air in that one. It's cool looking. I don't know if you can see the bubbles. Oh, yeah, see? All the little bubbles. So this grass has a lot of, like I said, like little burrs or hairs on it. So they catch all that. Just let that sit for a second. So now I'll take my jars and I'll label them so that I know what they are. Now these are an oil, so I won't put them in a cool, dark space. I will actually keep them on my countertop back in the back behind stuff where they won't get any sunlight. We won't put them in the sunlight. I don't, like some people will say, put it out in the sun to get the most this and that. And I think part of the reason they put it in the sun is because you get a lot of color change, because you get the interaction between the sun and the plants. But the sun will deteriorate the plant matter and again cause you, there's lemongrass up my sleeve, and will cause you to break that plant matter down. And we don't want to break down the plant matter. We just want to gently get out the good stuff. And the beautiful thing about diffusion is that it works across all cell membranes. There are very few molecules that won't travel across cell membranes. Sugar is one of them. And they'll just move around and it'll just come out and it'll just do its thing. That's why we're going to let it sit. So you let it sit in a dark, warm place. You could even go as far, oh my God. See, I'm all slippery. You could go as far as, I like literally missed my phone by like this much. You could literally go as far as putting it on like a warm, they have like oil mats or warmer mats that you could put it on that are used for cooking and whatnot. Oh my God, see, I got so much going on with this energy. It's explosive and slippery. So, so glad that missed my phone. It's been so bad. Okay, don't put your lids on too tight. I always make that problem. You want to actually put it as tight as you want to put it, and then back it up a little bit. At least me, because I'm crazy like that. But, so we have our lemongrass and sunflower oil, and we have our lemongrass and grapeseed oil, and we're going to see which oil does the diffusion better and which oil takes up more of the stuff and the flavors and the smells and all of that great stuff. The nice thing about using these things is that they're edible, and I don't have to worry about toxicity or poisoning or anything like that. It's all natural. I can taste it when I'm done to see. I can rub it on my skin, just like right now I'm using it. My skin is really dry, so it's like, it feels nice. And that's just the oil itself. So, so yeah, there's a lot of information about lemongrass and infused oils. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will answer all of your questions in the comments and whatnot. So don't forget to like and subscribe to come back and see this here in a couple weeks, probably a month and a half. 4 to 6 weeks it's got to sit, and then we'll go from there. So many blessings to all of you. I hope you have a great day, and soon I will have the moon vlog, whatever video, getting ready. So we'll talk to you all soon. Many blessings.